Reset 21, which is the company. I've also got a private practice. I do one-to-one work with people. That's called My Perfect Mind. That's a different website. But the Reset 21 team, I mean, here I work with a colleague, Suzanne. We've also got another colleague, Tracy. And the three of us do training here at the moment for council and people working with street homeless people. We've got another 3 counsellors who we're training up to work alongside us. So hopefully we'd have a team of potentially six folks who understand complex trauma. It's totally different to working with trauma in the traditional sense. Ultimately, it's why I came out of the NHS, because working with complex trauma, which is the norm in prisons, it's not something you understand. It's something which is it's hardwired in your mind. It's not something you can put your finger on and say, oh, that's what's happened to me. No, it's cellular. It's not cognitive. It's not a thinking process. It's always been there. You've never felt safe. You've always felt that imbalance, and that's why doing people that have conventional counselling approaches or cognitive therapies that have been through complex trauma and intergenerational trauma, very often it can make things a whole lot worse because they can't pin it down. It just uncovers this Pandora's box of pain, and they can't put a lid on it again. They can't make sense of it. When you feel that kind of pain, when you're in that kind of pain, when you've never felt safe, when you're struggling with stuff, there's all sorts of things that people will get into to feel normal. You know, it's the reason why people will be doing drugs or self-harming or what I call process addictions. So eating disorders or compulsive behaviours, social media, whatever it is. It's not what you're doing, it's why you're doing it. So if you imagine you're having a drink or whatever, you're on a bit of sniff or you're on bud or whatever, and you're just having on a bit of a bender, then you sober up again. But if in complex trauma, your kind of seesaw of normal kind of looks like that all the time. So you never quite feel normal, you never quite feel safe. And there you're using your sniff or your bud or whatever just to feel normal. You know, it's like I'm using that bit of sniff or that bit of bud because it levels me out, makes me feel calm, calms me right down. You know, so the context is totally different. So we work with. So how do we actually help them to kind of change their kind of their imbalance? Well, it depends on what they've got into to already kind of muddy those waters, because anything that you take or do that affects your body or mind is by necessity temporary. It don't last. So basically most cognitive approaches will be trying to change how you think about this and that. What we do here is we change how you think. We change your whole thinking process. So that will depend on what you've got into to kind of create your balance. So that could be all sorts of stuff. And it might be prescription meds as well. You might be dependent on, citalopram, sertraline, fluoxetine, Prozac, whatever it is, antipsychotics, whatever it is. And you might be on an antidepressant and doing a bit of bud as well. And you're using a bit of sniff, and you might have a drink as well. And you don't know what your feelings are anymore. You've lost yourself in there. Where am I and all that stuff? So it's what we do is help you find you, and when you find you, everything changes. It's like waking up. We teach people to wake up. It's astonishing stuff. But that's changing not how you think about this and that. It's changing your whole thinking process. It's scary stuff. It really is. Very much depends on the person. The way we work with this stuff is from my viewpoint, it's limitless, right? If I'm working with someone, it's not like conventional therapeutic approaches. It's really not, because everybody we work with, anybody I work with is my friend. Now in certain settings that would be seen as unbounded, and I'll say, what are you talking about? Because if I'm saying I'm a therapist and you're a client or a patient, well, you've created a hierarchy straight away, haven't you? You've created a division. I'm up here and you're down there. No. You're my friend and we're in collaboration. And it's not actually that there's anything wrong with you. No. Because then you've created this hierarchy of good and bad and right and wrong. No. Basically, we're friends, we're chilling, we're learning some stuff, we're having some fun. It's about empowerment, because it absolutely is. And if you're getting empowered, that's got to be good, isn't it, eh? It is fun. So I'll be working with clients, they've got borderline personality disorder. And I'll say, one day, hey, have you got borderline personality disorder today? Let's have a little look at it. Let's look at the symptoms. Oh, they're not there, are they? We haven't got it today, have we? That's interesting. We have some fun with it. Are we having fun yet? And we are. We have fun. It should be fun. You get empowered. You know, you demythologize it. You know, when you've been living in fear and pain and this idea there's something wrong with me and I'm broken. No, 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 no. That is just not scientifically sound. You know, there's a lot of bad science out there. So I work very much with the kind of neurobiology of trauma. And when you get to a cellular level, you get rid of the bull, you get rid of all the myths and the nonsense, and you get to the actual nuts of it, and you get empowered. World domination. Nah, the vision is to end suffering. End suffering, brother. Seriously. I've known so much pain in my life, and good people. I mean, working in the prisons in Kent, I just regarded the people I'm working with as my friends, and they are living in pain, and they've always lived in pain. That's all they've ever known, and it's to end that pain. It's to end suffering. And the thing is, it absolutely does that. That's why I focus on the kind of the cellular basis of this, because I've got to get to the nuts of this. We've got to understand the nuts of it, and the training we provide is very in depth. It's not like normal trauma-informed care. It's not like normal trauma-informed training. It's quite triggering for a lot of people, because we get into the down and dirty. And when you understand the stuff, you've got to understand the stuff. And if you're going to work in this field, you've got to understand your own trauma. You know, you can't be part of that stuff. You've got to be practicing your own strategies so you don't get pulled into that stuff. The goal is to wake people up. Yeah, when you think about ending that suffering, all we're doing is actually waking you up so you find yourself. You know, you've never known yourself, you find yourself. You end suffering, you wake up, you come to life. You don't get mugged off.
Right, positive message.
All right. Do not give up hope, understanding, in trying to understand what's wrong with you. And don't imagine that you're sick or broken. It's nonsense. Look closer. What I say to everybody is put your life under a magnifying glass. Look closer. So if people tell you you've got a sickness, look closer at it. What does it consist of? The positive message is, can you get healed? Can you get resolved? Can you find yourself? Absolutely. I've worked with most complex presentations, and we dissolve it. We demythologize it. It's totally possible. Don't get mugged off with these ideas of sickness and labels and stigma and all that nonsense. Look closer. So yeah, positive message. You can absolutely find yourself, and when you find yourself, that changes all the people around you, and you start to feel good all the time.